The holiday season is all about giving, and the New York Football Giants have been in a giving mood lately, folks. They've been giving Big Apple fans victories, wins to the tune of first place in the NFC East. Who would have thunk it? The latest, a 19-17 win over Cincinnati last weekend. Only downside from the win, quarterback Daniel Jones is banged up and could miss time with a bum hamstring. The 4-7 G-Men are in Seattle Sunday. We go inside the locker room for more.
I don't think you can compare this year period to any other year. Every team's unique. Every situation is independent of another one. However, I am proud of the way our players are working. I'm proud of the improvement they've made. I'm proud of how they come to work every day with a mindset of improving and going forward. We don't make it easy on them. That's by design, but I like the way they respond to our coaching. I like the way they respond to adverse situations within games, which obviously showed up today in several, situations. They respond in the right way, and we get the results we needed.
You always have to be prepared, be ready, and it felt good to get out there and call some plays and execute. There's a few I'd really like to have back, but always thankful to get a win. I thought the defense played outstanding today, kept us in it.
Good defenses travel. We got to pack it up on the road and set the tone. It doesn't matter what the offense is doing. We got to get it done on defense. And a lot of us are on defense a lot of us are on kickoff. On that kickoff return, a lot of defensive players are on there. So that's on us to make it up. And we're just trying to hunt the ball, play good defense. We were able to get it out in the second half and really hold on to that one.
Great to see them in first, albeit in a weak division. I can't believe this late in the season we were talking about the Giants and even a team like Dallas being sub 500. Still, some tough contests coming up for the Giants. After Seattle, they have Arizona and Cleveland on the schedule. Meantime, the only thing the Jets are winning these days is claim to the upcoming #1 pick in the NFL Draft. Despite the return of QB Sam Darnold from injury, Gang Green lost 20-3 to Miami last weekend. The Jets are 0-11, but winning the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. That would be some prize and perhaps the only bright side or positive thing in a lost season for the Jets.
It's frustrating because I feel like we're right there. We got to make one or two plays, and especially this last game, it's right there for us. And there's been multiple games like that. And, it's frustrating for myself, all the players, I know the fans.
In college football, another impressive weekend. Alabama and Notre Dame are the obvious two top teams in the rankings as the regular season turns the calendar to December. #1, Alabama had a smooth Iron Bowl win against Auburn with an interim coach in place of Nick Saban, who was unable to spend Saturday with the team after testing positive for COVID-19. The 42-13 victory included another banner day from quarterback Mac Jones. Jones threw for 302 yards and 5 touchdowns. Meanwhile, #2 Notre Dame turned the tables on North Carolina after a fast-paced first quarter that seemed to play into the Tar Heels' favor. Instead of engaging in a shootout with an opponent more than happy to run at a high tempo, the Irish slowed down the pace. Notre Dame smothered UNC for a 31-17 win. Speaking of smothering, internet personality Jake Paul looked like Mike Tyson in his boxing match with former Knick Nate Robinson. Yikes. Now Paul is feeling himself more than usual, too. Paul is already challenging one of the biggest names in the fighting community, and according to the YouTube star, it's going to happen. Paul took to Twitter shortly after knocking out Robinson in the second round of their bout at the Staples Center in Los Angeles on Saturday night to call out UFC champ Conor McGregor. Paul wants a future fight with Conor. Yeah, I doubt Paul wins that one, but you never know. I do think Mr. Tyson himself, though, he did win his exhibition match that same night with Roy Jones Jr. Tyson and Jones Jr. got into the ring at a combined age of 105 years old, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't scored officially, but the celebrity judges from the WBC saw it as a draw. Tyson really won that fight, folks, and he's still arguably among the best draws in sports today. Each of the legends walked away with over $1 million, and it could lead to further matchups for the pair. Even talk now of a rematch between Tyson and Buster Douglas, 30 years after Douglas upset the former heavyweight champ. Giving wins or knockouts is one thing, all jokes aside. Giving back, truly giving back, is another. Yankees general manager Brian Cashman participated in the Covenant House Sleep Out in November. While Cashman found himself sleeping out on the field at Yankee Stadium, the more than 1,400 participants came together virtually for a night of solidarity and fundraising to support young people facing homelessness during the COVID-19 pandemic, right here in the Bronx. Participants were able to sleep out from anywhere: backyards, porches, terraces, garages, kitchen floors, etc., so long as it was safe and legal. The Sleep Out's mission is to raise urgently needed funds for Covenant House, spread awareness about the youth homelessness crisis, and send a powerful message.
Where we are, there are kids that need our help. And so the Sleep Outs are one vehicle in our fundraising efforts, but it's really our most important vehicle that has the most impact. And now in this COVID pandemic that we're dealing with, the funds are even that much more necessary than ever. We are definitely, without a doubt, every dollar raised in this effort is saving lives. It's making a difference in kids that have no chance. And Covenant House is there to give them hope, give them shelter, give them an opportunity and direction and structure, and get them on their feet and give them an opportunity that, for a lot of reasons has been denied from them.
That's a win for Cash, the Yanks, and the Bronx. Still more work to be done in that regard, and there's still more work to be done in Metsville. We caught up with Sandy Alderson, who is back with the Mets this year, looking to rewrite his legacy for the Amazons.
I think we have an excellent foundation, but I think that, our needs are multiple at this point, and that, we're more than a player away. Now, who that player is, what position that player, plays. I think we've got some flexibility there in terms of how we address things. You're not going to address everything necessarily in the same way. We want to, check all the boxes, but at the same time, we're going to be focused on where we can best improve.
NBA training camps began this week with individual workouts Tuesday. The New York Knicks will play a 4-game preseason schedule this month, where fans are excited to see Brooklyn's Obi Toppin, the team's first-round pick. Toppin will have no summer league or voluntary scrimmages under his belt because of the pandemic, but has been practicing for months and looks ready to go. Kevin Durant appears ready to go too. The Brooklyn Nets star is coming off an Achilles injury that kept him sidelined for the entire season.
We know what good basketball, championship level basketball looks like. So it's all about crafting every single day with the group and, coming together and seeing what's the best way for us to play. It's still early in the season, and, it was COVID and guys have been separated all summer and doing their own thing. So, it's going to take some time for us to figure out the best way for us to approach this thing, but we're looking forward to that challenge.
We'll focus on what we can control. We'll focus on our group and put all the energy we have into this, while, like we said, remaining fluid as possible to all the different possibilities in these strange times. And we got to enjoy it too. So we'll keep building, and we'll keep pushing our guys and challenging them, and we'll build something really good.
We could be turning a corner in the pandemic, too. We hit the C list for more on that. Normalcy, in more ways than one, eventually will return from COVID-19. For the NFL, that could happen by next season. At least that's what Dr. Fauci thinks. The director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases told Yahoo Sports that pro football could see crowded stadiums by the start of the 2021 campaign. The numbers, of course, still aren't great, but the vaccine appears on the way. It's possible that stadiums will be full for some teams in some places, and that other stadiums will remain empty, or at least closer to empty than full. The best news comes from the impending arrival of vaccines, even if it's still unclear how anyone will convince those who refuse to put a mask onto their faces to put a needle into their arms. Wear those masks and keep it locked to BronxNet for all the latest updates right here in the Big Apple. Stay safe, stay healthy. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C.